Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside Texas with Mitch Tamis over there and Jeff McKells. How you doing, Mitch?
Man, we're doing good. It's a full moon. We did get a chance to look at it a little bit Friday night. They call it the pink moon. It was not pink.
Oh, I didn't see pink.
But full moon, and according to everything was great till Carolyn did our IRS taxes.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Everything went well until she found that we do not pay the government near enough money. It's kind of like that postcard deal that says, "How much money did you make? Mm-hmm. Send that to us."
Send that directly to, yes.
So anyway, awesome. No, other than that, I will tell you today was crazy. The office is a little crazy during full moons. I can almost track it. And today was no different. I got the sign up for the tree sale. Oh, yeah. You took care of me with a little mower situation I had. So yeah, just a lot of moving parts, Jeff. We're getting
ready. When I have people come to the shop anymore, I'm going to start talking like the lawnmower guy, Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It's out of gas.
Yeah, there's no gas in it. That's what it is.
I love it.
I am. I'm going to start doing it. People come up to me and go, "How much do you think it costs to do this, this, and this, and this?" $1 million.
Yeah.
Nah, come on, not really. I have no clue. Not at all. Every carburetor's different price. Every wire's different price. Everything. It's a different price,
And Jeff, I don't know how y'all do it. I was searching for simple motor blades for a riding lawnmower, and there's 63 million different kinds.
Yes, there is.
I mean, and look, I as you well know, and I'm telling everybody else, mm-hmm. When you're looking for a mower deck, 1/8 of an inch is it's too much.
Oh yeah.
And that's what it ended up being. The blades I bought were 1/8 of an inch too small, too big.
Yep.
And I couldn't even get them on.
You know what we do with that? We grind them down.
Well,
you could do that too. Grind down a 1/4 inch, make sure they're balanced,
I thought about it, and I didn't think I could balance it.
Nah. They actually make a blade balancer you can buy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little blade balancer. It's like a little triangle thing that sits like this, and you set the hole in that blade, and it balances. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But anyway, hey, we got a lot of stuff that we're going to get to tonight. But before we get to all the politics and all that other stuff, I'm going to introduce somebody on here that and I know you know this person. I met this person when I was on Happy Radio. Actually, I met him and his wife, and his daughter is a great pianist, plays piano, beautiful, singing voice, beautiful, everything like this. But this guy, for some reason or other, we called him, well, I shouldn't say we, the coach out at Tidehaven and I, Coach the Don, Lucio, Don. Lucio, yep. He says, "Man, I'd like to get that guy on to play the national anthem," and I'm like, "Oh, wait, yeah, we can get Root. We'll get him on. But this guy now has been playing so many different places. He's actually from Bay City, Texas, and he's going to be playing at a national baseball game. The Milwaukee Brewers. Shake your head if I'm right. The Milwaukee Brewers, right? Yep, Milwaukee Brewers. He's going to be playing the national anthem at the Milwaukee Brewers. He's invited there to play from Bay City, Texas, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
You got Rudy Perez. There he is. Hey, Rudy.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hey, Hey, Mitch, how you doing?
Rudy, we're doing good, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, you rocked it out of the park at the Little League opening session. I was over there trying to get ready to do a cake auction, and man, you rocked the world.
It was great. It's really nice supporting the community.
Yeah.
Like playing for Tidehaven and playing for any opportunity that I get. I'm not going to turn it down because it's our community, right?
Right.
And the people from Bay City are they're I've been here like forever, so any support that I can help out with, I'm willing to do. You
How
were
did you get
talking
to
about, yeah, you were talking about
what's that?
Sling Blade, right? Okay,
Yes.
so I got one for you.
Go
Remember
ahead.
when he that scene where he checks the lawnmower, he goes, it's out of gas, he ain't got no gas.
Yeah. Ain't got no
Anyway,
gas.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Hey, how did you get? Tell us a little bit. Now you're going to play. You played a whole lot of different places, and you just you played the national anthem, sort of like you replicate. Tell everybody who you replicate.
I do a little bit of Jimi Hendrix,
Right, Jimi Hendrix. Right. So you
some
played
class.
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, you played Jimi Hendrix, and if you close your eyes, you swear Jimi Hendrix was on the field playing the national anthem. How did the Milwaukee Brewers find out about you, and how did you get that gig?
Well, it's a funny story because, first of all, God gave me some talent and He just blesses me. And my wife, she's my number one fan, and
Yeah.
she like started me off with the Space Cowboys, and she told me you should try it. So I tried it with a little battery powered amplifier, 8-inch speaker, and I made the audition, and it went on, A&M and Round Rock Express, Dallas
Mm.
Wings, and then finally the Milwaukee Brewers. So what happened one night, I couldn't sleep, and I was there just on my phone, and I was like, okay, well, they're not going to call me back, so I auditioned. So, and then they called me back.
No
So
kidding.
yeah, it was an audition, and I made the audition, and they just keep coming.
That you know what? That's a great thing. You know what I mean? I see so many talented people, like your daughter, very talented. I mean, I know she's still going to school, correct?
She's going to school and working too, right?
Yeah, and she's still playing the piano and singing a little bit, right?
Yeah, here at the house, yeah, we get our own private concert almost every weekend.
Yeah, I remember I used to get mine over there. You guys would come over to the station, and I'd get mine there. So we'd go off the air, and I'd say, "Okay, play something else." And she'd sit there and play She would bring in that the Casio. I think it was a Casio, whatever you brought in there, and play, but just excellent. And then when I seen you playing the guitar, and then on Facebook, you got some videos out there as well on Facebook playing. I just think it's awesome. There's a lot of talent in Bay City, and I think a lot of it doesn't get noticed. I really don't. I noticed that with a lot of different people. I had the honor of interviewing some, big country stars and rock and roll people and all that other stuff. But I think it's really good to be able to interview somebody that, starts out just like you're doing. And who knows? I mean, who knows? After the Milwaukee Brewers, after that, I mean, God, somebody's going to see you and say, "Hey, we want that guy." It could be a huge rock band or something like that, and just go on from there. There's so many people that happen to. But
yeah, my touch with the success or fame or whatever was I got asked to play with Selena, Selena the singer.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I love rock and roll too much, and I turned it down. So yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man.
Her dad came up to me and we talked in the van, and he popped in a demo of her, and this was before she made it big. And yeah, it was she had a voice, really great voice. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to find a doctor to give you a frontal lobotomy, and we'll figure it out. I'll see if we can get that fixed. No,
So-
I don't. You see that all the time. Here, like Cody Johnson, country music man of the year. I mean, he won country music star of the year, and I got to interview him 20 times when he was a little nothing, playing in Huntsville and up in Palestine and all over the place. I still got his number. When he won the Country Music Hall of Fame, I said, "Man," I said, 13 years, brother, that you come a long way. And he goes, "Thanks, Jeff, man. He said, I'm shaking like a leaf. I'll talk to you later." And it was about 20 minutes after he won. And, Cody Johnson, Randy Rogers, guys like that had nothing going on, just to see them build up and grow. And for radio people, which they don't do it as much anymore, but the radio people would bring those guys on and say, hey, this is what we got to listen to. This is what's going to go on, blah, blah, blah. And not thinking how big they're going to get. So I know you'll make it. I see the way you play guitar. I know you're passionate about music. I know your beliefs in God in your heart and stuff like that. And that takes you a long way. And it will take you a long way.
Right, yeah, and that's that. It's one day at a time, right?
Yeah.
My inspirational talk with everybody out there that's listening. Hey, don't give up. Don't give up. Whatever you got your mindset. Don't let people tell you you can't do it.
Yeah.
You believe in yourself, and just keep on going. And if you're going through something, hey, God's the answer. That's all I got to say. I'll go with that. And and I will be nervous for the Brewers because that stadium holds 42,000 people.
Gee, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
So yeah.
Man, the last time I did 42,000 people, I think I was part of the Goodyear blimp. I think it was.
Well, I will tell you, you rocked it out. We had a pretty good crowd there at the opening day ceremonies. I probably better than 100 people, wouldn't you say?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That and a lot of support afterwards. I got a lot of messages from people saying that that they really appreciated. Chad, he really appreciated me doing that.
Yeah.
But Jeff has been in the limelight. He's a professional wrestler,
Oh, yeah.
Was.
Yeah.
My body has shut off now. That's done.
I keep telling him, Lydia can wrestle him pretty much. She rules the roost. So there's there's a SmackDown I hear. Now I don't know. I hear rumors.
Yeah.
That there's a SmackDown headed.
That's what they are. They're rumors. That's it, Mitch. There's no more to it than that. No, the biggest crowd was in Pontiac when we did WrestleMania. It was 93,000.
93,000
people. Yeah, and
wow,
that was the biggest. That was my 30-second match with the Hearts when we came out as the Russians, and the Hearts laid it on us in 30 seconds, changed the belt, and we got out of there. So yeah, that was the end of it.
Did you know all the wrestlers, the famous wrestlers from the
80s? Yeah. In fact, on one of the cruises we went on, one of the guys were on there, and he came over to me and he says, "It can't be you." They don't say your name; they just come up and say, "It can't be you. We thought you were dead." I'm like, I'm 60. I ain't dead yet. He said, "Well, a lot of us are gone." And I looked at him, and and it was Coco Beware. So if you remember Coco Beware with you,
wow,
yeah, he was on a cruise with his family. Yeah. So we see a lot of guys. Tony Atlas, he's 73 and still wrestles. I don't know why he does it, but he still does it. Still trained. They're all, yeah. You get to a certain age, then you get crazy, and I didn't want to get to that point, so I stopped. Let it go, just let it go. But so now the wrestling thing, my biggest thing wasn't even the wrestling. It was meeting people like you who have a talent and moved up, and I was glad to be a part of that. Wrestling had its own thing. I worked for a wrestling company, but I never worked for guys. I didn't work for guys like you. I wanted to make sure that people knew who you were. And the talented people. There's so many of them out there. I mean, you got all these talent shows on anymore. There's it's ridiculous, but there's a lot of talent out there that people don't get to see. In small towns and different places. Look at what's his name out there in Markham. What's his name?
Cody.
Cody. Yeah. Cody. Yeah. Look at Cody out there. He, on America's Got Talent, went a little bit, stopped, but still pushing. And I tried to tell him too, don't stop, keep going. Don't just because you're on that show doesn't mean anything. I mean, move along. So, but anyway, I wanted to bring you on. Go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah. So I wanted to show you a couple of my pick collections, my guitar pick collection.
Oh yeah, sure.
So this one right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it says, "I love my wife."
Yeah, I love my wife.
And I have one with my wife right there.
One with your wife on
Oh
it.
man.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
So
that's good.
yeah, just wanted to share that.
No, that's good. Make sure she watches this so she knows you showed that, or you're going to be in big trouble, Rudy. You know
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Hey,
it's
but
good. Go ahead.
thank you very much. Thanks, Jeff, for having me on, and Mitch. It was nice seeing you again, right? And you do a lot for the community. I mean, I see Mitch everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to say thanks.
No, thank you,
Thank you.
and keep doing what you're doing. And if somebody gets a video, I want to play it on the show when you're at the Milwaukee Brewers, so we can see that. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, when is that? When is that coming up? By the way.
Okay, so that's not determined yet as far as the date because they have different national anthem performers, so they have to schedule everything. And mine, see, we had an option of 5 games to pick, so mine was against New York Mets.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the Mets.
Yeah. So as soon as I find out, I'll put it out. I'll let you know.
Put it out. Let me know, and then we'll get some video up here. But Rudy, thank you. Such a talented family. Very good. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're
and good luck up there to Milwaukee, huh?
All right. Thanks.
Take
guys.
care.
Right, see you later, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. There you go, Rudy Perez. Everybody, see, we got talent here in Bay City. I wanted to bring him on because there's other people. As a matter of fact, I talked to Cody one time because this is Inside Texas, and I always wanted to bring people on, you know, within Texas that are moving up or doing things and this and that. And I've had one day I'm going to get them on here, and people are going to freak out and say, "Well, do you know this guy?" But I will get Cody Johnson to come on. I talk to him once in a while. Also, I'm going to bring on another guy who is just one of the most talented musicians that I've ever met, with an unbelievable voice. If you like Aerosmith. Back in the day, Dream On, the song Dream On.
I remember.
He did the cover for Dream On and then was invited by Aerosmith to be the opening band for Aerosmith. They're called Blacktop Mojo. They used to be a country band. Now they play rock. And this guy is just the nicest guy with the best voice. Lives up Palestine. We're going to get him on one day because they're playing for the president. Something going on. I don't know. They got something going on where they're actually playing in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, so that'd be really, really cool. I talk to him quite frequently. So, but anyway, thanks, Rudy, for coming on.
Yeah, and thanks for doing what you did for the Little League. I mean, those kids, all ages, like I said, there was a lot of kids out there, and to be able to watch that and participate and but yeah, that was really, really great.
Yeah, it was good. All right, let's get to the politics stuff.
Oh man.
All right. So you sent me 63 emails and I was going through all that stuff. And I'm like, holy cow. First of all, let's start. I want to start with this. You hear so much. It's like back and forth and bickering and fighting about these school vouchers.
Yes.
And the governor's now, getting pushed away on hold, and they're saying, hey, we want to do a vote on this. And tell us a little bit about that, Mitch.
So just recently, I'm going to pull that out because the chairman, this is guys, this is different. So the chair, two things are coming out realistically that I really want to talk about. And don't let me forget, I want to talk about the city stuff too.
Right. Yeah.
But there, today it was announced. So normally when here it is. Normally when you lay a bill out for a committee, they'll email it out. And a lot of times it's all last minute stuff, but it's all emailed. It's all electronic. You can share it with the media. You can share it with everybody gets it kind of at the same time. if you go to the U.S. Texas House of Representatives, there is a ton that is live broadcast that you can actually watch. I watch it most every day. And you can watch the House. You can also do the Senate committees and the Senate, House committees and the House. And the quorum report talked about the fact that the school finance plan has been laid out, and the chair has invited members to pick up copies in person. So I'm assuming he's printed a bunch of copies, and the school finance, the education committee, instead of getting it emailed to them where they can read it and their staff can read it, they've got to go to his office personally tonight, and pick up the copy. Now, what does that mean? Instead of publicly releasing runs under his school finance plan, Chair Buckley invites members to pick up the copies in person tonight at the Capitol. So that means superintendents around Texas will be forced to call the House member to be able to see the spreadsheets on how the ISDs fare under the plan. Information that would normally have just been posted online. But so for instance, A.J. Louderback would have to go to Chair Buckley's office, pick up a copy of the bill that's going to be considered probably on Wednesday or Thursday. I did see where Chairman Hunter, he chairs calendars, and he's going to put this up for a vote on Wednesday or Thursday. So what, we're Monday, you get it. You don't get it in electronic version. You get it in print. You take it back to your office, and then the school superintendents have to call. For instance, I'm just talking about ours. Bay City School Superintendent Dwight McHazlett will have to call AJ's office and say, "Okay, well, what does it say?" I mean, that's absurd in today's deal. The other thing that came out right after that was it looks like the House is trying to get the school, instead of passed by the House and the Senate. Now, remind you, the Senate has already passed theirs. The Senate's already passed it, sent it to the House. The House is debating it. I just told you. Now the bill has to be picked up in the office. But it looks like that the rumors are, and those rumors, that Governor Abbott is fighting a Republican proposal to put the issue to a statewide vote. Now, there's a couple of things I got to say about that. So I am not a voucher fan. I will say that up front. But I would like an opportunity to vote for it or against it in a statewide election. But the governor is not happy with that. So Lieutenant Governor is not happy. The governor, he doesn't want it to go to a statewide ballot. Now, here's my question. If I had him here, because they claim 82% of the Texans' parents believe that they should have school choice, be able to choose their child's education. And I know enough about polls. It's all about how you write the poll. If I told you, do you think you ought to have a say in how your child is educated? Well, of course you're going to say yes.
Yes.
It's how the poll is written. If I asked you, do you believe that $10,000 of your property tax money ought to follow a kid into whatever venue, school that they choose to go in with, and that school and that child have no accountability to the state? I don't know what the poll. So the Republicans are trying to get it, instead of just passed, Senate, House, go to the governor for his signature, and then get implemented. They're putting a little bit of a twist there to where we're going to pass it. They're going to allocate $1 billion. It's going to help 100,000 kids. But instead of approving it, let's put it on the ballot, statewide ballot in November, and let's let everybody vote up or down, yes or no, for or against.
Right.
And I just think that is, it's telling. So you're not sure that the parents, that the state, that our resident would pass this if it actually went to a state ballot. So that's just, I mean, that's late breaking too. That happened this afternoon, Jeff, for both things, but expect for it to be on the calendars either Wednesday or Thursday.
When they do the polling, like they say 84% or whatever, where do they do that polling at? Do they do it in the big cities, or do they do it in?
That's like a great question. We might need to get a pollster here that could give us the science behind where. I've never been polled.
Neither way.
You
think AJ might know that?
AJ knows a lot.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know, we will certainly ask him. I will extend it. He had 2 other events tonight.
Yeah. And I know we've been talking about it, and folks.
I know. But he really wants
a lot of
to.
Folks, he'll be on the show. I know how busy he is.
I will tell you that closer you get to the end of the session, the less free time they have. My guess is they're probably still in committee. Because they'll meet a lot late into the evenings at their committee hearings.
Yeah. I was always curious about this. Say, well, 84% of the people want to do, and I was never really big on the governor making the decision to do something like that in the first place. Yeah, you want to do, we're going to spend this on roads or highways, and we're going to, do this, but to do something without a vote from the actual people who it will affect seems odd, a little.
I mean, if you're confident that these folks want this, and here's what I'm going to tell you, and a little bit inside politics, I guess. I'll tell you who really wants this is hardcore Republicans. Not to get into trouble, but far right Republicans, probably 20% of the population. I think on the left, on the Democratic side, you've got about 20% hardcore Democrat, hardcore left Democrats. That's who votes, because our turnouts are so poor in the Republican and Democratic primaries. That's your 20% that turn out to vote. The rest of us that I do vote in a Republican primary, but the rest of the individuals that vote, they're probably the 60%, and certainly you have to have 50% plus 1 vote to pass it. So it'd be interesting to see. My guess, I'm just going to predict that the governor wins, fights this portion. The House passes it by a narrow margin,
right?
And it goes to the governor's desk. So the Senate and the House version is not the same,
right?
It's just like the Senate version of the budget was passed earlier in the year. The House version of the budget was just passed, and the Senate just named what they call their conference committee. Right. So these 5 individuals from the Senate will meet with 5 individuals from the House, and they'll come up with a bill that they both agree on. And then that'll go to the governor's office. My guess, school vouchers will be the same. I think this amendment will be defeated. I think it'll be stripped. I think the House will vote. I think the vote will be positive, narrow margin. I think you'll have a conference committee where they work out their differences.
Right.
But right now, the school voucher program is $10,000 per student for a regular student, $14,000 for special needs. I think they're in the House version. There is teacher raises and school raises, school finance increases, and school funding. I think that stays in, and I think that'll be passed by the House and the Senate closer in the May probably end of May,
Okay.
and sent to the governor's office.
All
But
right.
shenanigans, I will tell you, they always say the two things you don't want to watch being made, and that is bologna and sausage and laws. Because it's just not pretty. And so
like
a lot of shenanigans going on. But I think the governor campaigned vigorously against a lot of Republicans in the last primary.
Yep.
Got a lot of them beat. And I think he will do the same. Because I feel very comfortable. I've heard that the governor is planning on running for re-election. You just saw where the lieutenant governor just announced he's running for re-election, but I've got it on very good authority that the governor will as well. Okay. So a lot of shenanigans. Keep tuned to the show. We'll keep you up on what's going on.
The roller coaster ride of Texas. Yes.
And the teachers need raises. The school districts need more money. Jeff, I've said this until everybody's sick of hearing me. So you're going to send $10,000 to a student to a private school, but the school district gets $6,600 for that student. So explain to me why the one student's worth $10,000 and another student's worth $6,600. They have got to increase, and no increases in school funding, significant increases in school funding. And what has happened to your bills, Jeff, and your food cost and your insurance and your bills? I mean, they've astronomically increased.
Yeah, great. Just over the past year and a half, crazy. It's been nuts.
And our schools are no different, and their costs are going up. Paper's going up, ink's going up, school supplies are going up, food costs are going up.
Yeah.
And yet the legislature, through their infinite wisdom for the last 3 years, has been funding them at the same level.
I saw something yesterday. I know it was yesterday because after that I watched a movie yesterday where a lot of classrooms are going more digital video teaching. And I'm not saying by like a teacher. They're actually showing them, where the teacher would stand up in the class and read out of a book, history or something like that. There's actually now digital videos that teach that, and the teacher can lay back a little bit and not have to teach.
Wow.
I see that more and more. And then the interview with the teacher was stating that, it's costing us more and more and more to do physical things like, to draw graphs and to have the paper, and the school can't afford to get the graphs we need, this and that. But the videos are bought out of the library, wherever the library, whatever they got,
sure.
And they say, hey, this is, we're going to show this video today. This is on this, and you'll learn from that. Or this is on that, and you'll learn from this. It's getting to the point where it's less hands-on, and more digital. And the lady was complaining about it. The teacher, she was a teacher for 35 years in Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota. And she said it's ridiculous because a lot of the video, the stuff that's on the video goes through it so quick. Things that they would take 2-3 days at, they're going over in 45 minutes. So it's like,
in a video, you're right, Jeff. In a video, my teachers, I felt like, could tell if I wasn't picking it up.
Yeah.
And stop and either give me more or give me specialized help. But if you've got a video, it just plays, and it just plays. And if I miss it, I've missed it.
Right. And
I can't raise my hand to a video and go, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Go back over that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Of course, I'm old school now. And
me too.
I would love to hear from from younger folks, because Jesus Christ, I'm telling you, these kids and that YouTube and the
everything.
iPad.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they absorb so much.
They don't know. They don't know what we had to watch. Now, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay? All right. So the teacher would say, okay, go get the film projector. We go get the film projector.
Film projector.
We got the round little thing, and we put it up there, and this is what you would hear.
Yeah, run it through.
And you were like, what did that say? What did that first part say? The teacher was that's part of the test. You got to pay attention.
Or the film would break.
Yeah, the film would break, and you'd have to tape it together, right? Put little holes in it, you know. But I remember those films starting going, I'm like, what is he saying? You know, they don't realize what we had to go through to watch a video, you know. It wasn't even a video, it was a movie. You know?
I'd love, you know, that's a great study. I will tell you, technology today. I was talking to some younger professionals, let's just say that, and it had to do with my presenting emergency information, right? I mean, you know, me trying to put together, me standing up for 20 minutes and explaining something versus a 5-minute video. And Jeff, to a professional, every one of those professional adults, young adults, every one of them, Jeff, said, we ain't watching you for 25 minutes.
Right. They want the video.
We'll watch a 3 to 5 minute video. We won't watch a 10-minute video.
Right.
But we'll watch a 2 to 3 to 5 minute video. But we're not going to watch you. We'll tune you off. And Jeff, you've seen it on the Emergency Operations Center Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
We would do a whole Facebook Live, and I swear, guys, I swear, the first or second comment would go, what are they talking about? They wanted somebody else to watch it. Yeah. And then tell me what they said.
You tell me what they said. Yeah.
But because they weren't going to just click on it and watch the video themselves. So I don't know, Jeff. I've got 8 grandkids, all of them either in school or just about to be in school. And I mean, they're sharp. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're learning, but I'll bet you it's with the video, like the program you watch.
Yeah. It was something, I can't remember the name of the show. It was on it was on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It was about kids. Something yesterday and today it's called, or today and yesterday. There's something like that. But anyway, you get a chance. I'll try to find it so people can
I mean, that's interesting. Maybe we can get, I've invited Dr. McHazlett on and he's agreed. We just got to work it out.
Yeah. He
may have some insights into today's schooling, I guess. I mean, that's another old word, right? But how students learn, how teachers teach, you know, I'm sure it's a science, right? I mean, I'm sure that there are people just studying the heck out of these things. At least I hope they are.
You know, when you said the schooling, you know, school.
Yeah.
We used to say that in wrestling.
Oh,
we're gonna school this guy right now. We're gonna teach him. You know? I haven't heard that word since then. School. You're gonna get schooled, boy. Yeah.
Old times.
Old time. Let's move on to the next thing. The other thing was in Bay City, the election stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Bay City city elections. Now let me broaden it by telling you that Palacios has an election.
Yeah.
And they have a municipal election and a ISD election. I don't think they have any of the I don't think they have any bond issues, or charter review is the better word for it.
Right.
But let me tell you, let me give you some dates. So you got Stephanie Wirtz is actually managing the elections for the cities, for the ISDs, and so there's a lot of this information on the county website. It's not a county election, but they're hiring the county administrator, county clerk. She runs elections for the county and the state, and so they've hired her to do the municipality ones. Let me give you some early voting starts April 22nd. It's going to April 22nd and 23rd, and those times are going to be 8 a.m. to 5. Look here, on April 24th, you get 7 to 7, 12 hours of early voting. The 25th, it goes back to 8 to 5, 28th, 29th, 8 to 5. And you're going to be voting at the Bay City Service Center for those of you in Bay City. And Palacios, you're going to be voting at the Matagorda County Navigation District number 1. And that's at 1602 Main Street. So that's just to get early voting, and then May election, May 3rd, is the voters. Now I will tell you that Becca sits. Let me find the positions for. So you have mayor. You have the mayor of Bay City. He has filed for re-election. He's running unopposed. You've got you have 4. As a matter of fact, you got Bradley Westmoreland. He has filed. He is unopposed. Jim Foltz is unopposed. Mayor Nelson is unopposed. Becca sits his position. Now she's term limited, so she cannot run. And we have 2 individuals running for that. It's Corey McCrae and Susan Reardon. So Susan Reardon, her and her husband own Napa Auto Parts and Truck Repair. Corey McCrae is the COO of the old MEHOP. Let me think of the name. It starts with a V. Jeff, I'm so embarrassed. Vibrance today. The old MEHOP, and they've both been in Bay City for a long time. And so we will be choosing a new at-large city council position. The mayor, Bradley, Jim Foltz are running unopposed. Okay. But the propositions, and Jeff, that's what's been all over the place. There's been a lot on Facebook about, and I have a lot of questions, but there's a lot on Facebook about the propositions A, B, and C. I will tell you, and this is I'm quoting this. I'm going to read it from Mayor Robert Nelson. This was on his Facebook post. We understand that there's been a variety of comments, questions, and opinions shared in the community regarding the upcoming election and the proposed charter amendment. While we respect that people will have different views, it is important to clarify that not all the information being shared publicly has been accurate or complete. The proposed charter amendments were publicly discussed and by majority vote of the council placed on the ballot for voter consideration. The council believes that these proposed amendments are in the best interests of the city and its future. We want to remind voters of the importance of doing their own research, reviewing the full information, asking questions, and seeking facts directly from official sources. Making decisions based on someone else's perspective or incomplete information does not serve the best interests of our community. Resources are available and will continue to be added to the city's website. We encourage all residents to attend one of our upcoming town hall meetings. And Jeff, this is what I want to make sure everybody understands. 2 town hall meetings, one scheduled for April the 15th, that's tomorrow night, and the 21st at 6 p.m. at the USO building. Service center is another word for it, where the city staff will be available to answer questions directly. He ends with, we remain committed to transparency, respectful dialogue, and ensuring that voters have access to accurate information to make informed decisions on Bay City's future. I encourage everybody that I will be attending. I won't be there tomorrow night. I've already got a Lions Club board meeting, but I will be there on the 21st at 6 p.m. I'll have my questions ready.
21st is what day is that?
I'm sure it's the next Tuesday. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Yeah, that would be right.
So Tuesday. Yeah. I will tell you that I do have several questions. One, I'll ask it here. This was the first time that the council didn't empower a citizens-led committee. And I agree that the last time they changed the charter, they changed it to where you name X number of citizens to you may. So they changed it from shall to may. I didn't realize that. Mm-hmm. I probably would have preferred a group of citizens meeting. I didn't want to volunteer, to be really honest with you. I've done that. I've been on a charter review. And you look at every word of the charter. And another word for the charter would be, for those that don't know, would be our city constitution. Yep. The Constitution and bylaws of the United States of America, our Constitution. Well, our charter is that same mechanism. It empowers council to do things. And so anyway, I encourage, let me read the proposition. So there's 3. You will vote for or against the amendment of Section 401 of the city charter to change council terms so that 2 positions are up for election every year. I will tell you that what happened when they changed, those of you that remember when we added the term limits, that you remember I told you that Becca sits is term limited. When we did that, we changed the election modules so that there's 4 council, 4 out of the 6 that are up at one time. And that's a little, I even agree with that. That's not the best interest of the community. You need some continuity. I wouldn't mind every 3 years, I wouldn't mind replacing 2.
Right.
So you have 4 that's back there. But if you've got 4 brand new coming on, we don't this time, but you could. If we had 4 coming on and 2 that were staying behind, I just don't think the knowledge transfer is there. So Proposition A is to correct that. I'm not going to say mistake, that unintended consequence. B is a little different. So B is the amendment for or against the amendment of Section 407 of the city charter to change mandatory meeting of council to 1 time per month. Right now, the charter calls for them to meet twice, 2 times a month, and it's normally the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays. And so they're proposing, the council is proposing that they only meet 1 time a month. I can talk on both sides of that. To be really honest, the commissioner's court meets every Monday at 9:30. Good, bad, or indifferent. I am not giving an opinion of my board meets once a month. The EDC meets once a month. So council meets twice a month. I'm not for or against that yet. I've got some questions. It doesn't say, it said, it doesn't prevent them from meeting more. It's just that mandatory meeting. So at the chamber, and we're not running a city. Don't get me wrong. We're not running a city. We do just fine with 1 time a month. The port meets 1 time a month. The port's got a pretty significant budget. Just like the city, it's got a lot of moving parts. And I'm not for or against it, but I'm just telling you that that's what's going to be there.
I got a quick question. Okay.
Yeah.
I, mm. Right now they meet twice. Like you said, they meet twice a month.
The second and fourth Tuesday of every month.
Is there a reason why they only want to go to once a month?
I'm sure that's going to be talked about.
The only reason I'm saying is we're a growing. Well, I live in Matagorda, but Bay City's a growing city.
Yeah,
and there's changes constantly, like just about every day with something coming up or doing whatever. And I just, I don't know.
It's a good question. I mean, and I think that's something that we as individual voters are going to have to weigh and decide.
Yeah.
Certainly you have city staff doing the day-to-day operations. Council's more of a policy making, setting the budget. There's some oversight there, don't get me wrong, but they don't do their oversight duties during a council meeting per se.
Right. I guess if the city manager had questions or wanted to call a meeting, or even the mayor.
Nothing in this will prevent them from me. Like right now, they're meeting, I think, every Tuesday in budget hearings.
Yeah.
None of that changes, but I guess the official work of the city, passing ordinances, discussing ordinance, that would be once a month.
Okay.
According to this now, but like I said, if there's something special going on, there's nothing stops them from calling a special called meeting. For instance, again, the budget, they're meeting, I think, every Tuesday night through July.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
They're doing capital budgets now. They go through every line item of every department, every budget. I know I have mine. I don't remember what date with the hotel motel tax. That I'll be there during that. If anybody worries about or wants to know about budgets, it's open to the public, of course. I encourage you to go and not participate, but sit there, absorb, learn, and then ask questions later on.
Right. Okay.
The third. No, go ahead. Now that's a great question, Jeff. I mean, I have not formed an opinion yet. I want to hear more. I could lean both directions, to be really honest with you. Here's what I hate. Doesn't have anything to do with this. I hate the fact that they want them to continue doing the way that they've always done it. I hate that statement. Well, we can't change it. Why? Well, because we've always done it this way.
Yeah,
if there's a new way or there's a better way,
right,
then I'm not opposed to evaluating that. So,
right. Okay,
I literally can argue with myself both directions. And here's my answer to those that say, well, there's just so much for them to do. Well, why aren't we asking them to meet 3 and 4 times if there's so much to do? Why just stay with 2? I don't know. I feel like, I feel like that if you're, I could go both directions. It's not a hill that.
Well, and I feel the same way. You could go both directions. Just that, yes. And I'm tired of hearing. I think people our age are tired of hearing, well, that's the way we always done it. That's those are the people from 30s, 40s,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Not as 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, but don't change anything. My God.
I mean, speaking of change, we probably lived through the biggest changes of our lives from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
I know.
So we're all about changing things to try to make it better. But if you have a town, that's growing, and you got a lot of business coming in and things like that, or I guess it's just what's on the agenda. It depends on how much you have on an agenda in a month. I mean, do you have enough in one meeting to cover that whole month, or not?
Deb, you got a good point. And I will tell you this: I years ago when Carolyn was on council, they would start at 6:30, 7 o'clock. And Jeff, she'd be 11:30
I remember
leaving
those.
there.
I remember those. Yeah, I do remember those.
And so I guess, I mean, if you're not meeting as often, but you're meeting into the wee hours of the morning, that's not a good thing either.
No.
So I could go either way. You know, I mean, you would sit there and look at an agenda. There's times, Jeff, and the council, a county meets once a week, and there's times that agenda's 3 pages long.
Yep.
And I try to miss those meetings. If Judge Sieferman and Eslenbaum, Commissioner, if y'all are listening, and I know Bubba Frick listens as well, yeah. I'm not admitting to anything. But when it's 3 pages long, I don't. A lot of times I'm not showing up. But and I know they all listen.
I know they do.
Now the third one is interesting too. This is the one where the amendment of Section 301 of the city charter to allow council's discretion to waive residency requirements of city manager if they reside in Matagorda County. Now I saw, and this is off the city's website. Now I did see one, and I'm confused. This is one of those questions. I did see one where it was written within 20 miles of Bay City. This particular one that I printed off does not say that, but I have seen that writing where it said the city charter to allow council's discretion and waive residence requirements of the city manager if they resided within 20 miles of Bay City. This does not say that. This says just if they reside in Matagorda County. So that would be one of my questions that I ask on the 21st.
Well, what is your feeling on that? To have a city manager either live, I feel they don't necessarily have to live in the city. Maybe the county to understand it better. But if they live out of the county and there's an emergency, that you need the city manager for it, sometimes it's tough to get here. But within the county, yes. Outside the county, no.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Within the city, though, I don't know. No, if that person isn't available.
Well, I will tell you, when Shauna Burkhart got here, our previous city manager, she had a very difficult time finding a house here in Bay City.
Yeah,
and she ended up with a nice house in Van Vleck. Mm-hmm. Outside the city limits, and she kept getting a variance from this rule for many months, and then I think almost a year, to be really honest. And then council said, "Hey, look, you got to find a house here in town," and she did. I don't know that the city functioned any different. I don't think that the city functioned any different because Shauna lived in Van Vleck for a year. I doubt that many people even knew she lived in Van Vleck for a year until she could find a house here. And so I get elected officials. You've got to live within the location where you're running. I know I had to sign an affidavit that said I live in District 25 when I ran for state rep. I know Carolyn had to say she lived in the city limits to run. I know the mayor, council. But when it comes to employees, and of course, there was a former elected official that did have their official residency in Bay City.
Yes.
Now, the question was, how much time did they actually spend in Bay City? Rumor was not a lot.
Yes.
And so you had
I know that whole rumor.
Yeah, you had a hugely successful former police chief of here in Bay City, Texas, that did a great job. I think nobody ever said that he didn't do a great job. And he lived in an RV in the Highway North 60 RV Park. Very happily married. His wife had a huge job. She actually lived in a house in Houston. They commuted. I will tell you, he was here a lot. She came here a lot. Right. They happened to be good friends of Carolyn and I. We went to a lot of events together. He was here a lot. I would think that I would like a police chief to be really close by versus a city manager.
Yes.
So again, I could go both ways. I look forward to listening to the discussions. That's again tomorrow night, 6:00 at the USO. If y'all want to beat me, I can't attend tomorrow night, but on the 21st, I look forward to hearing the whys, and hopefully council members or staff will be able to discuss their thought processes behind why they chose these three. I know originally there was 5, and I know council picked 3 to put on. Real quick, Jeff, I don't want to leave our friends out in Palacios. Oh, and our ISD. So the ISD election, we can go back to this, Jeff, but I don't want
go ahead.
To miss out.
Because Andy has a question too. So
okay. So in our Bay City ISD, Trent Trennan is running unopposed in position 1. James Scardama is running unopposed in position 2. Position 3 is held by Felix Nunez. He is running. He's challenged by Kenneth Eaton and Sarah Dwight Kraft. So position 3, we will choose one of 3 individuals running for Bay City ISD.
Right.
And I think Palacios ISD does have a Larry Glenn is unopposed. Victoria Durham and Michael Dotson face off in a council seat. In position 5, Palacios is Kent Adams and Joe Ramirez. So that kind of talks about what all we have going on. What's our illustrious weather forecaster say?
He's asking a question. Does the county have consent items passed in mass?
They have in the past. They don't. Traditionally they don't. I think it must be probably more of an attorney thing, or maybe maybe what's being talked about. But no, traditionally month to month to month, I mean, week to week to week, they don't have a consent agenda. I think it has more to do, in my opinion, not my opinion. What I've observed is it had more to do with the attorney. I know that the previous county attorney, previous county attorneys have had consent agenda. I know city council has had consent agenda items where you have that each member has an opportunity to pull something off of a consent. I think consent items are very, very, very efficient. I like them. Mm-hmm. But the county does not exercise that in its entirety. And I don't know whether that is a legal opinion or just the preferences of the judge and commissioners. But they do not here.
Okay, there you go. There you go, Andy. You now are informed.
Yeah. But I really like what the mayor said. Do your own homework. Don't read a social media post that's biased.
You know that ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
God dang, it just pisses me off.
Well, me too, buddy.
Come up with your own opinion. Do your homework. Talk to people. Talk to city council members. Call the mayor. I'm not going to tell you rumors and innuendos, although I hear them. I hear them a lot, but I don't base my decisions on that. I certainly don't base my decisions on wild post, emotional post. Jeff, that's the other side. I'm not coming at any of these propositions from an emotional standpoint.
No, you can't.
But there are so many that do.
Yep.
Well, I'm pissed off, or you, you didn't listen to me, or you didn't pay attention to me enough, and it just seems like the emotion is just pouring off of the social media page. And I know it's human nature, and I know it's going to happen. But we haven't. The good news is we have an opportunity to vote. You each have hopefully you take advantage of that ability to vote. I haven't figured out how many hours you have to vote. But my guess is it'll be close to 70, 80 hours of the polls being open for you to go take 15 minutes to go vote.
Yeah, for 10% of our voters to go out and vote.
For 10% of our voters, Jeff.
Yeah.
And then we'll bitch about the election results.
Yep.
But anyway, do your own homework. You have plenty of opportunities to ask questions.
And by the way, James Scardamai, he's running again.
James running unopposed.
Yeah, he's running. And this time I can say he's actually running because he said he lost weight. So,
did he?
Yeah, he said he lost some weight, man. So,
well, I tell you what, Jeff, you could always do a write-in candidate. Oh, wait, you don't live in Bay City.
No, sorry. I did that for a reason.
James, it was close.
It was. Yeah,
it was close. I heard a rumor that Jeff was going to run as a write-in candidate against you.
You know what? I was going to do it.
But legal requirements. But here's what you could do. You could always just get a post office box. No, it's just a joke.
And Mitch said it. There it is.
It's just a joke, folks. It's just.
I'm sorry. I got a P.O. box one time, but I couldn't fit in it. So I couldn't get my fridge in it.
No, I tell you, the leniency, the laws in Texas on residency is one of the most lenient in the state, in any of the states.
Yep.
Texas has some of the most lenient residency. Basically, and I had this conversation with an elected official that will rename nameless. And basically, you're a resident if you say you're a resident.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I tell the story real quick, Jeff. There's an RV park in Livingston, Texas, just outside Polk County.
Mm-hmm.
It has 30,000 registered voters. 30,000 registered voters say that is their residence, and there is 100 RV spots.
Yep. And there's and let's see, the total population of Livingston.
Yeah, it ain't much. But that voting box, that saying that RV spot is their residence and that was years ago. It's liable to be 60,000 now. And they called themselves the Escapees. They had a name. They called them the Escapees. Now, whether they did that to vote, but here, so if they're traveling in an RV, you got to have a residency. I would have a residency in a state that didn't have state income tax.
Yeah.
And property tax, I don't have a property. I live in an RV park, so I don't pay property tax. I don't pay state income tax.
That's right.
That's pretty sweet, dude.
It is nice.
And they vote there.
Yeah. Well, I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I got you.
Anyway, let's get out of here.
All right, brother.
I just plugged this thing in and it's almost dead, but it lasts the whole show. How about that?
All right.
That's something. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Inside Texas, we got more stuff coming up next Monday night at 7 o'clock. I want to thank our sponsors for the show, the Medical Arts Clinic here in Bay City.
Yeah.
L&J Small Engine won't be open tomorrow, by the way. Getting brain surgery tomorrow, so I won't be there tomorrow. So don't get crazy, and people do. But anyway, if you have any problems with your lawnmower, call Mitch. He'll take care of everything.
Yeah, I got a grinder now.
He's got a lesson on lawnmower blades today.
I do. I got a lesson on lawnmower blades. I can mess your tractor up, and you'll never get it back.
He's the guy that'll do it. All right. On behalf of myself, Jeff Michaels, and the lovely and talented Mitch Thames, thanks for watching Inside Texas. We'll see you all next Monday night at 7 o'clock.